All right, some 57 minutes after 6. Let's get talking some district assembly elections right here and how effective is the district assemblies. The NCCE has taken some research. We're going to get into the details of some. I've got Stanley Quaynor, who is with the research department of the NCCE. Joyce Efutu is Director of Communications and Corporate Affairs, and they join me with details. Good morning to you. Thank you for coming.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, so I know that there are two things. The district assembly elections coming up is in September. You're doing some kind of awareness, but also you've undertaken a research to assess the effectiveness of the district assemblies. Let's tackle that first. Why did you carry out that research in the first place?
As a commission, we have the mandate to assess for the information of government issues affecting the state, and also looking at the need to work to enhance public knowledge of the work of state institutions. Last year, we carried out 3 researches on parliaments, on these assemblies, and the media, how effectively they have been in enhancing Ghana's democracy. So we launched the first one on parliaments in April, and this is the second one we are launching on the district assemblies. You know, they have been they have been for some time now. These assemblies were first established in 1998 to bring decentralization to the local level and ensure that citizens at the local level participate in the affairs of the states at the local level, whatever they need, and how they can actively ensure that their needs are provided at the local level. So these assemblies have existed for some time now, and they have contributed to the effective democratization process of the country. So having operated for some time now, we thought it wise to educate public about their activities and how they have fared so far. So that informed the research.
So between what period did you?
We did it last year, September, and it was a national survey, which we interviewed people across the country, different segments of the society. In fact, in all, 72 districts participated in the research activity. And what we did was that we based our sample on the proportionate share of each district of 2010 population and housing census. So that was the basis of our sample.
Okay.
Yes. So we have come up with a report, and it will be launched, God willing, tomorrow by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. And we also have discussants. We'll have the dialogue after the launch. So we have Professor Kwame Nanhoy. We have Dr. Kalitus Mahama, who is also a local government service, and we have a former president of NALAG, that's the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana. They will come and then discuss the details, and we'll look at the way forward, and we'll have audience. They will also ask questions, and we'll look at what our local government has been for us, and then what they can do, looking at the way forward. And we also thought it is imperative for us to conduct the research because, firstly, it will inform our sensitization activities. In fact, findings of the study attest to the fact that the public, they are aware of the functions of the district assembly, they know their roles and all that, but there are specific things they want done so that the district assemblies can be very effective in their activities.
So Stanley, what were some of the key findings?
Well, we generally looked at the functions of the district assembly, and also look at the functions or rules of some of the key functionaries of the district assembly, just like the DCEs and the presiding members. We went further to also look at the issue of whether the substructures of the district assemblies, and here when I talk of the substructures, I'm referring to the urban, town, and area councils, and we look at their performance, and we believe that if these substructures are really performing, it will know through the general performance of the district assembly. We also went forward.
So I take it that then it's not functioning properly now.
We can't say that. That is why we went to the field to find out from our respondents whether they think the substructures are performing.
What did they say?
I want to pause on. I don't want to release the information on that. But tomorrow, as we're going to
but you're not giving me all the details. You're
yes,
just telling me some of the things.
Yes, exactly. So, but then the general view of the public attests to the fact that the substructures are not performing too well. They are underperforming. We also look at key areas like whether the DCEs must be elected, or their status quo should.
We want them elected. Did it reflect?
Well, it did. It did. Yes, it did. And also, we look at participation in general. You know, when you talk of participation, you know, the district assembly concept is about decision-making process, and the expectation is that citizens must be given the opportunity to play a role and participate. So we looked at issues like whether the chiefs and the traditional authorities have a role to play, and also found out from our respondents whether the quota for appointing women to the district assembly should be increased or not. And finally, we look at how we can assist, or we find ways to assist the district assembly to perform effectively.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is generally what we really on that.
Okay. So Joyce, when you carry out some of these research, I mean, which is good, but what are we supposed to do with it?
Yeah, we get the knowledge, we get the information out there, and we give it to institutions that are concerned so that they can also ensure that what citizens are asking that they should do, they do it. So we don't keep it with NCC.
But are you expecting something to change? For instance, if the majority of the people you spoke to wanted the district chief executives elected and not just appointed, is this would you see to the end of it? Is this something that you're going to monitor and see that it comes to pass?
Yes, we will. We'll give it to the appropriate authority, because that is the will of the people. And if you look at the Constitution, the sovereignty of the people is paramount. So we'll take it to the various institutions, and when it comes to that, we will also lead the process. Yeah.
Did you look at the districts, the assemblymen, the fact that we couldn't hold elections for them? It's had to drag on for a while, and I don't know how they are functioning without them. I mean, I know that a lot of them are campaigning right now. It's not like they're really working. Yeah.
In fact, actually, now we don't have an assembly because their term expired. So the DCs are now the caretakers, but they are not taking major decisions. That's what we were told. So now there's nothing like an assembly.
But how is that impacting on the whole process?
Yeah, because they are not there. There are certain key decisions that cannot be taken because they represent the people, and what the people want is what must be done. So we are all hoping that come September 1st, we'll have the assemblies in place so they can work and then make sure that the level of development that we want to see in the communities and the electoral areas and in the districts as a whole, we see it.
Is the NCCE carrying out any kind of campaign? Because I'm not sure a lot of people know that we have elections on the 1st of September.
In fact, we are still whipping up the interest and raising the awareness of the fact that we have the assembly elections coming up September 1st. That will be the election of a district assembly member and then 5 unit committee members. So wherever the unit committee members are more than 5, they will elect 5. But if it's only 5, it means they will go unopposed. So we are urging the general public to show interest in the district level elections as they do, even though this one is non-partisan.
But Stanley, you understand that this is one kind of election that somehow we don't seem interested very much?
Well, yeah, to some extent, you are making a point. But before I address that question, I think the issue about the fact that the district, the assembly members are now not, the assembly members are not working now because their term of office has elapsed. Now, the finding that we had from that aspect is that we asked the question about if the projects, for example, development projects are taking place in the communities or the district, who consults or who informs them? And the response that we had was that it's the district, the assembly members who do inform them, and that was the highest. So it means that between the lapse of their term of office and now, one can conclude that there is no one who is
communicating with the people.
There's no assembly.
So it is very important, and we want to stress that in 2010, the country faced a similar situation where the district assembly elections also dragged somehow, and it created some vacuum in the operations of the district assembly. So it is very important that we address that issue as a country. The premium we put on presidential and parliamentary elections, the same premium must also be put on the district assembly elections, because whether we like it or not, it is the district assemblies that are saying to the issues of development in the various communities.
So people would argue that why don't you make it partisan then, so that with the political parties deeply involved, there will be excitement, there will be that kind of...
Again,
the issue is that, yes, that is what people are saying, it should be made partisan, but as of now, it is not. The law is that it's non-partisan. So what we need to know is that the districts determine and control the level of development at the district level. And so the amenities that we need, they are tasked to provide. So it is very important for us to show interest in the activities as to who we elect to represent us at the district level. So as it stands now, that is the law. And that is what we must all abide by until the law is changed and it is made partisan. Yeah, so we are urging Ghanaians that yes, now that is what we have.
Is there, I don't know if it's the EC that can answer this or the NCCE can also help. If you want to transfer your votes and take part in this exercise, how do you go about it?
You go to the district office of the Electoral Commission and tell them you have moved residence, and for that matter, you'd want your votes to be transferred from where you lived to where you are now going to live or where you are living now. So you go to the office of the Electoral Commission, every district, and that is closer to where you live. But I think they have timetable within which they do these things. But I don't know whether as of now they are still transferring votes. But whoever has moved residence or for one reason or the other, you cannot vote where you voted previously. You have to see the Electoral Commission, because they send transfer lists also to the polling stations, so that those who have transferred, even those who cannot find the ID cards, to the same way you go to them and then you will be sorted out.
Stanley, is the NCC advocating for some sort of refund for these assemblymen who were ready to take part in the elections and then it never came off, they made losses?
Yeah, it may interest you to know that when we've try to find ways and means to assist the district assembly to perform effectively, one of the issues that came up strongly was the fact that the district assembly men must be paid. Currently, they are not paid.
Yes.
But so they take only sitting allowance.
Sitting allowance.
And then they take ex gratia at the expiration of the 4-year term.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How much is that?
Oh, I can't tell.
As in based on what?
It depends on the assembly, the capacity of the assembly to pay. And we have district, we have municipal, we have metropolitan. So it depends on the assembly.
Okay.
So
so you're making a strong case for them to be paid?
To be paid. That is what the public or the respondents are advocating for. So it means that there is a need to find an answer to your question. It's therefore important that the assemblymen and women must be supported in a way, so that, because we see the district assembly concept to be some like a training ground, to train the future leaders of the country. So, for example, we have someone like Dr. Indum. He was once
an assemblyman before he became
a district assemblyman, and currently see where he has reached with his political life. So the argument is that when we ensure that the district assembly works very well, from there we can have leaders, we can train leaders for the country. So there is a need for the state to somehow support and assist.
So the NCC supports the call for the state to fund to pay the assemblymen.
Because I would like to add a little to that. There are assemblymen who have different communities in their electoral areas. So they need to visit them regularly, because before you attend the assembly meeting, you need to seek the views of your people and present it to the assembly, then you give feedback. But what we see is that a lot of the electorates complain that when they vote for the assemblyman, they don't see them, because the assemblyman also doesn't have any means of reaching his people. Because they're sitting, they go for meetings and they have their sitting allowance, and that's it. So if they have to visit the various communities, even if you have to call a community meeting, maybe you don't have a place that you meet in the community, so you have to erect canopies, you have to hire chairs and all that. How do they do this? So we think, yes, if they are remunerated, they can also wholeheartedly do what is expected of them. Because we have instances where people vote for assembly members and they don't go back to the people. We think that is not well. It's not good enough, because as a leader representing your people, you need to interact with them constantly, and you need to provide feedback. Even when you go to the assembly and their needs are not being met, or the assembly cannot carry out what they need, you need to go back and tell the people. So we think people are not committed because they don't have any means to be able to meet their people. So we support the need for them to be remunerated.
But how much is enough?
Oh, enough is relative. So
because I'm sure that will also come up. You know, how much do we pay them? Do we agree that whether it's a district assembly or municipal or they have the same kind of remuneration?
Yeah, it depends, because the district municipal, it depends on the population, and depends on sometimes the facilities in the metro or the district or municipal, because some have a lot of facilities, like some have markets, parks. This is where they generate their revenue. So if you have a district that you don't have a lot of these things, their revenue mobilization is not as much as the others. So it depends on the financial strength of the district assemblies, because you know the common fund that is given to them basically is for development projects in the districts. So they are internally generated funds. That is what they use to pay sitting allowances and other things, monies that they give to the assembly. So it will depend on the capacity of the assembly. But if the government will come in, the state will come in to pay them, they will determine the level of salaries that they need to give them.
But the DCEs, are they useful at all? I mean, can we do without them? We have regional ministers, and then we have the assemblies.
Yes, regional ministers, they coordinate the activities of the region. And you know, you have a region with a lot of districts under you. So one person cannot coordinate. For instance, when you take the Ashanti region, they have 30 districts. And we have one regional minister who is coordinating the activities. It's not only that they coordinate, they ensure security, they see to conflict resolution, they do a lot of things. And the district also has a lot of communities in the district, which the DC is the head, with the assembly members and other staff, yes, helping to ensure the smooth administration of the district. So they are relevant.
Should we begin some sort of a debate to scrap one, either the ministerial position, you know, like as in the regional minister, because if you have the DCE playing that all-important role, the person can take up the extra administrative role that the regional minister is taking. You don't think so, Stanley?
No, because the regional minister has his role that he plays in the region, and the region is embodied with a number of districts, just like Madam Afutu said. So it is not going to work, because even as we speak, we have the regional ministers, we have the DCEs, and yet we have a lot of challenges in the development of the country. So for me, I think that we should maintain the status quo, and then rather see how best we can improve upon the work that we are doing.
So let's talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, as I said, we are launching the research report titled Assessing the Effectiveness of District Assemblies in Ghana's Democracy at the Kofi Annan ICT Center, Ridge, Accra. And I would like to urge all your viewers that it will be telecasted live on multi-TV and enjoy SMS.
Okay, so on Joy FM and
Joy
then
FM,
News.
on Joy News. So people should tune in and then listen to it, because all of us cannot come to the venue.
Okay.
And also, I would like to add that we are urging all Ghanaians that this level elections is very important, and then they should take interest. Come September 1st, as a citizen of Ghana who is eligible to vote, you need to know your polling station. The elections will take place, know your polling station, the elections will take place from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. After casting your ballot, you cast it peacefully, of course, and then you go home. If you want to observe the counting, you come after 5. And there shouldn't be any impersonation or multiple voting and all that. It is against the law. People will be punished if you are caught. And the Electoral Commission will be mounting platforms for all aspirants. So know your assembly member, know where the platform mounting will take place so that you can go there, see your assembly members, and then interact with them.
Okay.
So come September 1st, District Assembly and Unit Committee elections will take place throughout Ghana.
All right. Thank you very much. Stanley, you also have something?
Yeah. In connection with the district, we want to appeal to the public, wherever a woman is standing as an assembly woman, they should do their best and vote for the women, because we want to bridge the gap. Women are important to the development of the country, and they must participate in the decision-making process for a better Ghana.
Okay, so Stanley is rooting all out for women. He says vote for the women who are standing as assembly women. But I've got an assemblyman in my area who is very responsible, even though they are not active. And that's the reason I didn't even know that they are not properly working, because he is working, really. Cornelius B.K. Addo, he's standing at the Atomic Electoral area. I pray and hope that he wins. And if you can, if you live in that vicinity, please vote for him. I hope this is not like out of the rules. But thank you so much for your time. Stanley Quaynor is with the research department with the NCCE, and Joyce Afutu is Director Communications and Corporate Affairs. We're talking sports next. We're talking the GFA presidency. We're also talking the local league. Is Hatterville going to be relegated? Not at all. You're saying not at all. With 2 more games to go, and where they are sitting on the league table, it doesn't look attractive at all. But you know that Hatterville, I mean,
never say
die
until the bones are properly rotten. So we'll come back and do some analysis here on the show. Please stay with us.
In a matter of 3 days, this cow dung will become your source of energy, providing fire for cooking and lighten your home. This is useful as Ghana is struggling with short supply of electricity and poor sanitation. It is Sunday afternoon. Nanado Donko prepares to step out for waste material. He uses the material he gathers to generate biogas for cooking and electricity. A mechanical engineer from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Nanado makes a living generating biogas for others. He has several suppliers in the capital, Accra. He has come to the home of one of his suppliers.
Good afternoon. I'm after Musa.
He is not around.
I was here in the morning and requested for cow dung.
Is he aware?
Yes. He asked Yusuf to help out.
Yusuf is the son of the supplier. He will help Nanado gather some cow dung for a token. Nanado endures unpleasant smell always, working with waste material, but he believes this is effective recycling. Vegetables are also useful, but there is an advantage with cow dung.
the cow dung is faster than the spoiled vegetables. Because that one you have to ferment it for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks before you start using them. Cow dungs, they are not difficult to get them. But I go to my suppliers, they give it to them, I give them something, yes. Because they are going to throw it away anyway. And you know cow dung to, if you leave on the open for a while, it will emit methane gas, and that is harmful to the environment.
Back at home, Nanado begins the process with water.
After putting bit by bit, very, very heavy.
For him, protection is key, not only for the stench. He uses other chemicals too.
Very heavy.
Though the process requires a bit of effort, it is worth it. The added advantage is that a user can prepare the mixture easily.
Have to stir for some time. You're seeing the bubbles and the foam. You have to check the acid level, pressure of the liquid. It has to be semi-solid. I've added the inoculator. It's to speed up the reaction.
Nanado is finished with the mixture. He fits the gas holder into the digester containing the liquid.
This one, when it started generating the gas, you will not experience this, the stench again. This one is 200 grams. And it will last for 1.5 to 2 hours per day. Continuous cooking. Yes.
Among the clients of Nanado is the Accra Academy Senior High School. The school has a 35,000 CD commercial biogas facility which runs on human waste. The school wants to use the biogas for cooking. Nanado is here to ensure the 100 cubic meter system is useful.
Testing the presence of methane in the system. Then from here, I have to connect the pipe from here to the kitchen. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
He needs about 3 pumps, pipes, and hose to transfer the gas over 20 meters to the kitchen. Meals are prepared here for about 1,000 students and staff every day.
So this is the place you...
Evelyn Nkrumah is the senior domestic baser of the school.
I'm asking the fire flame and then the gas.
No, it will not affect it. Not at all.
Okay, that's the problem.
So maybe you can even convert this one to
gas.
The biogas.
So that we can use the district.
The firewood.
Yeah, that would be better. We prefer that one.
You prefer that one, converting the firewood to the biogas. They are using the local stove. They are using firewood. So it will be appropriate to place the stove here, then the biogas balloon behind them. Then they can use the gas from the chamber to this place.
A biogas system is quite costly, and this often discourages people from getting one.
Sometimes maybe they will come, they do the inquiries, and they go. They'll call me later to tell me the thing is too expensive, I should do something about it for them. And sometimes I really can't do anything about it because of the materials involved.
That notwithstanding, Nanado plans to expand his enterprise.
I've planned to have a bigger facility with modern machines to manufacture my own even tanks. Yes. That plan is in the pipeline.
After 3 days, the mixture Nanado prepared failed to generate gas. Ideally, the biogas is expected to start forming 24 hours after the mixture is prepared. Nanado encountered a technical problem, which he quickly resolved.
During my routine check, I noticed there was a crack in the neck of where the valve is. And I have to fix that problem. Because if you don't fix that problem, air will enter the system and it will not generate a gas. It will rather generate carbon dioxide, and that will be a problem.
Apart from the delay in the gas generation process, such a problem may bring about extra cost.
You have to change the whole system again. Not the complete system, but the accessory, the cap, the valve, you have to change it. I'm not worried about it. And I know surely it will generate the gas, but it will take a little time to do that. I'm not worried about it. I explain these things to them. Even before I start the system, I have to explain it to you. Because we are working with material. We don't control them. They control themselves. So we only have to do the right things. The standards, we follow the standards. But if it's not working, but this one is purely technical. It's not biological. Because we had a crack in the neck of the valve. That's why. So we have to refix it and wait for some time for the material to work and generate the gas.
There are, however, several success stories. One of them is a domestic system he recently fixed for a company. This is similar to what Nanado has in his home, except it generates gas from vegetable waste.
It is more beneficial as compared to the LPG, because once the system is being put in place for close to 10 years, that is the lifespan. They are not going to buy gas.
If more homes, schools, and factories start using biogas, the environment will become cleaner. People will not die from preventable diseases such as cholera. It will also help increase electricity supply.